Let's say you need some B-roll footage for a client video. As you know, spending some time filming that or buying some stock footage online can get expensive and probably look generic. So what if I told you that you could create custom B-roll video in under 5 minutes? You'll never have to pay for stock footage again. So here's the problem. Stock footage subscriptions aren't specific to your project. And who wants something generic? In fact, if you think about it, it's a big waste of time just to find something that works in that pile of stuff. There is a better way, and I want to show you that, and it's all about Midjourney. And most people think Midjourney video is simply making fun video animations. But professional creatives know that Midjourney gives them their biggest opportunity to save time on a video project. So today, let's explore how easy it is to create video B-roll that you could deploy easily into your work. So here we are in Midjourney, and you can see I've got an image set up, and a lot of times we need B-roll of just some background footage or something, and I want to show you how to animate that with just the basic controls. And I've got two other things I'm going to show you in a minute. One's a person and one's a product. So you can see how you can create B-roll for those things. So stay tuned for that. But here, I want to show you, here's our image, and you can see here's our prompt. We'll just throw that up there so you can see it. Right down here in the corner, right, is all of your animation controls, okay? Also, I've got some animation controls up here in the control slider, okay? So you can control the video resolution or from 980 or to 1080p, right? You could also control how many videos you're creating. Right off the bat, I'm just going to create 2, but I could also select 1 or even 4. Now, the reason why you want to change that, of course, is maybe you want different variations and you just don't want to waste any time. But know that the more that you create, the more that your GPU hours are being eaten up by video, and video loves to chew those up. So buyer beware, okay? So we're just going to do 2. And then here, we're just going to make a loop, okay? And let's do a high motion loop, and we're just going to automatic, right, for high motion. And we just hit go. It's just as simple as that. And as you can see, it's creating the videos right here. And it's going to take a couple minutes, and we're going to speed this up so you don't have to wait. Okay, we're done creating, so let's see what we created. Here's the first one. Now remember, this is a loop, so it's going to go and it's going to start back to where it began, and it's kind of a seamless video, right? Here's the second one, which is going to be completely different, although they're going to look the same because they have the same colors, right? So this is a real easy way to create something that might look kind of cool for a video board or something, and you can imagine putting a logo or putting some type on top of that. Here's an easy way that you can create a background just with some B-roll, right? If you need to extend this, you can extend this manually. So this is going to be about 5 seconds or so. So you can extend this up to 4 times, and then we can say high motion or low motion. So we can extend manually, okay? And let's do that. And then let's add in something. So let's go ahead and take the prompt, and let's pull this out. And let's say bright yellow lens flare. And then let's go ahead and let's just do one video. So let's change the settings just to show you how that works. And hit go. All right, and here's our finished extended video. Let's go ahead and roll that. And this had the bright yellow lens flare at the end. And see what we did. Oh, it was going to have like this laser beam effect. It didn't quite finish. So you know what we need to do is we need to extend this again. And remember, you can do this up to a couple times. So I'm just going to hit prompt. And let's hit high motion again. And this is going to extend it for the 3rd time. All right, so here's the result. Let's take a look about how we did. And we've now extended this to almost 13 seconds. And I think if you're doing some B-roll, that's probably way more than you really need. And you can see how nicely that ended up. And this took very little effort to make. And it's really just, you had an idea, I tried something, a bright yellow lens flare, and we got this result. So let's move on to a product. Okay, so here is a boot, and let's just say that this is the product that you're doing. This is a product shot that you uploaded, and you want to do something with it. So previously, this would be kind of hard to do, or it would require a lot of expertise. Now it's really easy, and I want to show you something that I like to call the Ken Burns effect, you know, after the famous documentary filmmaker, where he would take old Civil War photos and other things from history, and he would zoom in the camera and pan it around, and that created a lot of motion for the documentary that you didn't really get just by just a standard static photo. So what we're going to do is we're going to animate this manually. Okay, so first let's check our settings, and I'm going to just do in low def right now, and I'm only going to do one just to show. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do animate manually, and we're going to type in zoom in. That's all we're going to put in there, right? And let's hit go. We're going to do a person here in a minute, and I'm going to like do some editing and then actually animate. So stay tuned for that. And here's our result. Let's take a look. As you can see, it zooms in and rotates a little bit. Kind of nice. So imagine you're making a commercial, you're making a product shot or something, and you've got a picture of your item. Here's how you can animate this and get some B-roll for in between some scenes that actually look a little better than what you might normally get anywhere else. So it's pretty easy, and it only takes a couple moments to make. Okay, so now let's go ahead and show you what we could do with a person, because I think a lot of people do B-roll footage with people, and we're just going to pick one of these. I'm just going to pick one of these at random. Here's a picture of a young woman, right? So let's go ahead and edit this. And I'm just going to click the edit button right here. So we're going to click edit. We're going to make this a 16:9 aspect ratio, which is typically, you know, for anything for a presentation or a movie screen or your phone or whatever. And let's move her to the left third alignment area. Okay. And then I'm going to say empty background. And what we want is just her. Isolated, emphasis on negative space. Okay, here's our woman, and you can see that this is a really nice shot. It's at the right aspect ratio, and it looks great. So now let's animate it. Our first step is we're going to animate this manually, okay? So let's go ahead and delete our prompt, and then what we're going to do is we're going to give Midjourney some instructions about what to do, and we're going to say woman, happy, dancing, moving to the right, zoom out. Okay, so basically we're going to have her dancing and moving around, and we want the camera to pull back a little bit. That's the zoom out, right? So we just hit go. Now remember, this is for B-roll. We're going to be doing something fun with this, and it's just for one little sliver of some sort of video that you're making. And of course, whatever we're doing, we could have that instructions do whatever we want to do. Well, sky's the limit, really. And here's our final result. All right, not bad, right? And so it's pretty easy to make a photograph come to life, and people do things, whether they're walking or talking or jumping out of an airplane, whatever. You can get Midjourney to help you with that. So anyway, hey, thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate you. If you'd like to learn more about how to do things with Midjourney, please consider subscribing to the Midjourney Experience Academy, which is on the school platform. The link is right there in the description. We'd love to see you there. Thanks for watching. See ya.